Good evening, everyone. I am Shambhavi Singh, and with me I have Manognya, who will be taking you through will tell you about what the cloud is. So, over to Manognya.
I'll be showing you around the basic interactive methods we have to interact with the Cloud Console or basic Google Cloud. So today's agenda will have a basic understanding about your career in the cloud and what's about the cloud overall, and starting with the solid platform we have in front of us. So moving on, it's all of us know like, why are we even preparing for this cloud careers? This particular pathway, this particular career practitioner campaign helps us to get proper certification, and will and the we know the demand of cloud computing in the industry right now, and yeah, this could be a solid support to get started with. Moving on, just to understand what's the cloud anyways, we have certain aspects to understand, right from resource managements and the basic way of storing cloud storage and etc. So we'll see what Google has to say when it comes to this. So every company is a data company, is what Google believes, and in future, the companies who in the industry have one vital element with which they can be differentiated, which is data and the way we process it. So I'll just walk you through infrastructure as service and platform as service and software as service in brief. Whoever have started the understanding the courses might know what I'm talking about. So infrastructure as service is the CPU, memory, storage, networking, everything will be basically provided as and the user needs to take care of the application and OS. Whereas platform as a service is one step ahead of that, where a user will be already provided the entire thing, and all they have to do is just run the application. Whereas software as a service is another step forward, where the daily life things we come across, the Gmail, the Google spreadsheets, Google Forms, everything come under this category, where you just have to give your data, and everything else is taken care by them. So this gives an overall idea of what it is about and what's the network about. And these are certain Google Cloud. Google Cloud offers a range of compute services. These are next. Shambhavi will walk you through all of these things. So let me just show you how to start with the solid platform we have. There are 4 ways to interact with Google Cloud: Google Cloud Console, Google Software Development Kit, and Cloud Shell, and REST-based API. And the final one is Cloud Console mobile app. So let me just show you around what all of these has to do. So basically, the Cloud Console provides you the interface to manage all the projects and resources. This is how the interface looks like as soon as you log into the website. And if you're not logged in, it will automatically ask you to put your details, and then you log in. And as you can see, we'll just see how we analyze the interface. We have project, and moving on, if you go to the left hand side, you have different options to explore, like Kubernetes engine, which we'll be seeing in the following slides. And to understand what exactly are we doing with the cloud service, every Google Cloud service you use is associated with a project. So we'll see what exactly a project is and how do we understand. So 3 most important parameters which we have to keep in mind are project ID, project name, and project number. Each of them have their own significance. So this is a very key point. We have to understand what is it to create a project. So most of you have started with the courses you have and the labs you have might be knowing this, but yeah, to those who didn't start, this is how you create a project. Like on the Google Cloud Console, on the top left corner, you'll be having a project symbol, and clicking on that, it will show you something like this. As soon as you click on new project and follow the steps they've given, and then yeah, you can create your own project. Apart from the free Google Cloud services, if you want to use extra ones, there'll be a separate billing account. As you can see here on the right side, there is something called billing. So once you cross the Google Cloud free services, this is something which starts updated, which gets updated on the Google Cloud Console. So depending upon the projects you work on, depending upon the projects you create, this gets updated. So I'll just walk you around the command line interface which we use. Like as soon as you open this console, on the top right corner you can see a Cloud Shell icon, and when you click on it, there is this console you'll be able to see, and all the command lines they provide us in order to run, and in order to add that command in your transcript, you can run it over here. So this is how you use your Cloud Shell code or SDK to run your command. And the last way of interacting with the Google Cloud is this app, which you can download either through your Android or iOS service. This basically tells you the entire thing in the form of an app. Like the same things we observed on the Google Cloud Console, the CPU, the basically if it's a virtual machine or whatever billing you have done, the command, the console you have opened, everything. So yeah, moving on, we'll try to understand what is compute services offered. I'll hand it over to Shambhavi.
Yeah, so a major advantage of using a cloud platform is that it does your work for you. So it among the variety of compute services it offers, we'll be discussing the compute engine, app engine, cloud functions or majorly cloud run, and the Kubernetes engines. So the compute engine basically it offers you to create virtual machines which you can operate on. The app engine lets you create, as it says, apps and scalable applications, development of scalable applications. So cloud functions and cloud run is basically to deploy certain, for example, you're keeping scores of a cricket match. So after each over, you need to update the score. So you will be using cloud functions or cloud run for that. So that's what cloud functions and cloud run is. So it doesn't need a server. We'll be coming to it further. And to containerize your applications. For example, you create a software on your device. Let's say you're using a Linux device and you give it to your project manager. He or she is using Windows, but is not able to run your software on their platform. So to solve this, we use containerization, and that can be achieved using the Google Kubernetes engine. Coming to the compute engine, so as I said, it lets you run virtual machines on the Google Cloud platform, and it has a large variety of applications. You will be able to explore that through the courses allocated. We won't go much into it. We have 15 minutes. So when I talk about serverless, it means, so you see this pyramid, all of the blocks are what is needed to compute something to run the Google Cloud. However, the blocks in blue are what the user, that is you, will do. The gray blocks is what the cloud service provider is going to manage for you. So that is what serverless computing means. Your job is only to code your application and monitor its performance. Everything else, scaling, internet connectivity, servers, network hardware, VM provisioning, security, all of it is taken care by the cloud service provider. Serverless computing will auto scale your application depending on the needs, and you don't need to manage the infrastructure, and you can deploy your application faster to the market. So we've talked about app engine, cloud run, and cloud functions, event driven. As I said, you keep needing the scores again and again. So each event happens. As each event happens, your cloud function keeps on working. So yeah, app engine. So cloud function is a function as a service. So the cloud run was in cloud run was a SaaS, and then app engine is a type of platform as a service where you don't need no need to buy infrastructure. You just manage your app. You just create your app. The cloud does it the rest for you. And cloud functions, yeah, we've talked about this. But then customers want to modify what pre-existing technologies are there. Why should you choose between containers and serverless? When you have containers, you can bypass the language barrier. You can use any languages, any binary, any ecosystem of base images. You can just share your stuff across different platforms without error. That's why you need containers. And these are what the advantages of deploying containers at scale is. And that's what Kubernetes does. Kubernetes is the containerization technology present in the Google Cloud. Coming to Cloud Run, we talked about it too. It's coming to storage services. So the storage service depends on what storage you need. To to use memories, there's the memory store. Now, when you have data that is organized, relational data, so for that we have Cloud SQL and we have Cloud Spanner. Apart from that, there's also Alloy DB, which is used for um, PostgRE SQL. Now, SQL is for data that is semi-structured. So that can be managed using Firestore and Cloud Bigtable. We'll be coming to structured and unstructured data later. And if you are going to run analytics on your data, then you will use the service BigQuery. And if your data is unstructured, you will be using cloud storage. It can be it has a different types of classifications depending on what you need, how long you need to store your data for, how much data you have. There's persistent disk and file store. So cloud storage basically stores your content and delivers it, generates analytics and for it, and is used for backup and archival storage. So structured data, you can see it's organized into tables, so you can make sense of what we have. Unstructured data could be transactions, it could be images, it could be videos, audio files. All of this don't have a definite structure, so that's unstructured. How will you know what service to use? You can use this flow chart. If your data is structured, you use cloud storage. If your data is not structured, you use cloud storage. If your data is unstructured and you need to run analytics on it, you either use Cloud Bigtable or BigQuery. If you don't need to run analytics on it, if it is an RDBMS, you use Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, Alloy DB. If it is not relational, you use the data store. So coming to security, so the GCP has many layers of security integrated within it. All of these are those of it. Like at the bottom is the hardware infrastructure, then server deployment, and up to operational security. So it's up to the user, it's up to you to authenticate who can use your project, who can run your whatever you're running. And it was also used to authenticate whoever is using the cloud platform. When you use the cloud service, responsibility is shared. So if you are not using a cloud, you're on premises, all of this is your job. Using infrastructure as a service, the job of the cloud is to do all of this, the parts in blue, whereas all of this is the user's task. When you use a platform as a service, the identity task gets transferred to the cloud. And when you are using software as a service, like managed services, your job is only to create the content, assign the access policies, and define who uses what, how much. And it's always is the customer's responsibility. You decide who gets to see your data, and access managed. It is allocated by deciding who can do what. So you'll be who is decided by using their project ID, the person's user ID. Can do what is basically editor, viewer, those rules, and on which resource, compute engine, app engine, cloud functions, Kubernetes. Three types of IAM rules. So basic, predefined, custom. Basic is the already there, predefined. Custom, you can create your security permissions. So that's it for today. But before that, if we see a lot of very less participation in the GCCP campaign. So far, very few people have started with the courses. However, if you feel any issues, if you have faced any issues, like you haven't received your like you aren't able to do some lab, or you have exhausted the quota to do a certain lab, you either email to DSC support at quicklax.com, or you can use the chat support. They'll swiftly assist you. So any questions? Or before that, I'll just tell you what you're supposed to do for the GCCP campaign. People have questions, so you must have gotten this email once you enrolled in the GCCP pathway. So scrolling through the email, you see the syllabus here. You click that, you come here. So on this page, you're supposed to do all these courses and these quests. So if these are not complete, it will be white like this. Once they are complete, the courses will be blue and the quests will be green. So I'll take you And you can confirm your subscription by going to monthly this thing. It should show multi subscription here, and you'll be able to see that when your subscription is expiring. For this campaign to have your participation declared valid, you need to complete this pathway. However, certain leniency has been provided. We have sent the links to 4 courses and these 3 quests. Please complete these at utmost priority. After that, you can go through the rest of the courses and the remaining quest. I'll take you through one short lab as to how you can work on it, how you can use the cloud console. Hmm. Till I find that, we'll also be having a project phase. So after, we'll be telling you about it on the session on this Friday, that is 16th of December. So basically, whatever you learn in the using this pathway, you shall apply it to and use the Google Cloud platform to create a project, no matter how small or big. You could do it in teams or individually, and that would be forwarded to GDSC. So yeah, that would be the project phase. Then you click start lab. So like you have to go through everything that is written here, overview, objectives, and then how to set up quick labs. So once you start lab, you'll have to clear the captcha. So each lab, the time allotted is generally twice the average time more average time people take to complete a activity. So you open the cloud console and incognito tab. It has already put your username here. Copy the password. Next password. I understand. And then accept the terms of service, agree and continue. This is the cloud console, the GUI. So we have done until here. Task 1, navigate to the marketplace. First point, in the cloud console, go to the navigation menu and click marketplace. So this is the navigation menu. We go to the marketplace here. Click on marketplace. Going to the next step, locate Jenkins deployment by searching for this. You have located it. Next, click on the deployment and read about the service provided by the software. Click on the deployment, read about the service. You can answer this later. Then click launch. Verify the deployment, accept the terms, and click deploy. So go through the deployment. All these are the details regarding the deployment. In other labs, you can change the deployment name, the region. This is like very basic lab. You can change the series, machine type, everything. After going through the deployment, accept the terms and click deploy. Now wait for this to deploy. So it has been deployed now. So you go here, check my progress, and it says assignment complete. If there is an error, it will be red. It won't show this, and it will show what the error is. So before, my score here was 0 out of 10. Now after completing this, it's 10 on 10. So my lab is complete. However, you could go through these if you wish to. Like you copy this, go to the Cloud Shell, like read everything that's before that, whatever you have to do in there. You might have to create, go to the SSH of the Jenkins server. So like when you go to the details, you'll get to know it while doing the course. So now my score is done. I will end the lab, submit, read the lab if you wish to. And when you go back, it was infrastructure preview, the lab's name. So it'll show a tick mark here. So once you finish all the labs and quizzes, you could go through the videos and documents too. You will receive a badge like this. Once you have completed all the courses, you will see these badges on your public profile. And you could display this on your LinkedIn or other social media platforms, like how you display your GitHub. Yeah. So the last date to finish the pathway, you could even access the pathway here. You go to paths, cloud engineer learning path, and do all of these. Last date to finish it, it's 21st. We'll be talking more about the project on 16th. Those of you who haven't joined the WhatsApp group, please use this QR code. And any doubts regarding the course, any questions about the deadlines, about which links you have to follow, please don't be confused about the 7 links we sent in the group. It's the same as these courses, the courses which are to be prioritized.
Session.